or lesson 2 of deep learning with Pytorch, and in this lesson we're going to go over GANs, which are generative adversarial neural networks, and they're a very interesting piece of technology. A lot of people, when describing what a GAN is, refer to it as somewhat of a game between two neural networks, and essentially those two neural networks are the generator network here and the discriminator network here. And essentially we have some random noise fed into the generator network, which will generate fake images. So this data doesn't have to be images, but for this example we will show images, and it's mostly used on images, so that makes sense. So we feed this 1D random noise vector into our generator network and create fake images here. We also have a data set of real images. So we feed both the real images and the fake images into our discriminator network. And the discriminator network will determine whether those are real images or fake images. And essentially, in the beginning, the discriminator network will win the game. It will very easily be able to determine whether it's a real image or a fake image. But the generator network will continue to play the game and continue to generate more and more realistic images until the discriminator network is not able to tell whether the image is real or fake. And then at that point, if it says this is 50% real, 50% fake, I don't know, then you can save that image and have an artificially generated image, which is very cool. That's what we see with the deep fakes, people having face swapping. A lot of Snapchat filters use technology like this in order to do that. It's a very innovative piece of technology. It's very fascinating how it works, and it was developed in 2015 by Ian Goodfellow. There's a lot of good videos on YouTube about Ian Goodfellow. Let me go to that real quick. So this one with Andrew NG, I don't know how to say his last name, is very good. I've also watched this one a few times where he does an interview with Lex Friedman, and of course, not this one. I mean, that could be good too, but this one here where he gives a full talk about everything back in 2016 was very cool. So this is a very recent development in neural networks, so it's very cool that we're going to be able to use it today. I'm going to go ahead and minimize my camera now. All right, so just open the third lesson in your Deep Learning with Pytorch folder, P1 Chapter 2. Go to the third one, which is Cycle GAN, which is a specific type of a GAN. Here we have the architecture within the two networks, the generator and the block. I believe the block is the discriminator network. And we don't need to know a lot about what's going on here. We'll learn all of this later. This is somewhat the definitions of the internal architecture of both of the networks. So we'll get to that. Today we're just going to be running it and seeing what it can do. So let's run this first line of code. All right, now we're setting net G equal to the ResNet generator, which is right here. And that's the internal. You could kind of think of this stuff as what's in the car engine. Today we're just going to drive the car. We're not going to take apart the engine. Now we're the model path. This GAN takes a picture of a horse and turns it into a picture of a zebra. That's what it does. So we'll see that. Now we're setting it, grabbing this data, which is the horse to zebra path. Net G eval. So this is a somewhat useless line of code, and what it shows us is the architecture of the network, right? So we're seeing some convolutional layers, ReLUs, more convolutional layers, and this is just stuff that will make more sense later on. But we're just kind of popping the hood here and seeing what's under the hood. So now from pill, we're going to import image. From torch vision, import transforms. We're going to go ahead and pre-process our image again. In this pre-process, it looks like we're not doing as much as we did the last time. We're just resizing it to 256 pixels and then turning it into a tensor. I think we're going to have to unsqueeze it later, which looks like down here we unsqueeze the image. So now let's grab the picture of the horse and open it up. We don't need this line of code here. These 3 lines of code are for using your own pictures, just like we did in the last one. So we're going to do that again. It'll be kind of fun. So let's open the picture of the horse. Okay, so now we have a picture of a cowboy riding a horse here. Let's go ahead and pre-process that image. So that means we're going to resize it. This is obviously more than 256 pixels. And it's not in a tensor format, so we're just going to do that real quick. And then we unsqueeze it. Let's run it through the network. And now let's see what our network is able to do after it feeds it through and generates a zebra version of this horse. Boom. Now we have a cowboy riding a zebra. You can see, I don't know if I can zoom in. I'll just zoom in that much. We can see that some of the cowboy's pants have been turned into a zebra as well. So the network just kind of only takes stuff and turns it into a zebra, no matter what you feed in there. So that's what we're going to do right now. We're going to play with it and get a little bit more familiar with it. So let's take a picture of my dog. Let's comment out this line of code. This is the folder in which my dog Bosco's image is in. Let's look at that. Here we have Bosco. He's standing by my son Ethan. And let's turn Bosco into a zebra. We just rerun this code here, and boom. This one's kind of funny because Bosco kind of got turned into a zebra, but Ethan got the full zebra body paint here. So that's kind of funny that it did that. I mean, they both got stripes. So that's kind of like what we saw with the cowboy. His pants got turned into zebra pants, and now we got 2 zebra creatures here. And let's do the next one. This is a picture of my friend's dog. And the issue with this one that you might run into is that it's not rotated correctly. In order to rotate this correctly, we need to use this command here, which will rotate it. Let's start with 90 and see where that puts us. Oh, so we got our first error. Name pill is not defined. So when you see something like this, it normally means that you did not import the module correctly. So right here we say from pill import image. We did not import pill. We just imported image from pill. So if pill is not defined, we want to import pill. Import pill. Let's go ahead and import that. Let's just run all these codes again. And now it worked, right? It rotated him 90 degrees. So let's do it again. Okay, so it won't rotate him an additional 90 degrees unless we added another line of code. We could just type 180. That would be easier. Another solution would be to add this code here. It's kind of not the best way to do it, but that works as well. I mean, just to show you that there's more than one way to do a lot of things with coding. This is a very simple process, but another way would have been to just type 180 in here and run it like that. And now we have the dog rotated correctly. I think it might even look better at 270. Not 2700, but 270. And yeah, I think that looks pretty good. So let's turn this dog into a zebra. I don't know what kind of dog it is. And now it's a zebra dog. Pretty cool. So that's basically what we're able to do here. All we're doing is really driving the car. We don't know what's under the hood. Later in this series, we're going to get under the hood. I would recommend just feeding a couple images into that. The one arrow we got kind of shows you some things that you need to be able to do on the fly as you get better at coding and practice more with this type of stuff. But it's a pretty simple, straightforward lesson. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you next time in lesson 3.